Hello and greetings, everyone. My name is Lady Calamere, and I happily welcome you to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, then welcome back. It has come to my attention that the most more that more of my most of my viewers are not subscribers. So please hit that like button and subscribe. If you can't do it, then create a YouTube channel. You don't have to be a content creator, so that you can subscribe to me and to other YouTube channels that you enjoy, so that you never miss an episode of what I do or what they do. So anyways, welcome back. I am doing a presentation on the goddess Seshat, and she is the Egyptian goddess of, well, knowledge and writing. And if you know who the god Thoth Tahuti Jehudi is, then you pretty much know now pretty much what this goddess is. So let's delve into her and who she it was and who she is now. And this is just a general goddess statue, and we got Joker here showing his butt off to everybody because he has no shame. So anyways, I guess he's showing his butt off. So anyways, Seshat, this card says wisdom. And it comes from the Egyptian Gods Oracle cards by Sylvana Alashia. What are you doing, Joker? Already it starts. So, yeah, she is the goddess of wisdom. She's a goddess of knowledge. She's a goddess of intellect. She is the goddess of writing. And that's the back of the card. She is the goddess of writing, reading, mathematics. She's a goddess, the record keeper. Like Thoth, she keeps an excellent record of everything. Now, unlike Thoth, she wasn't the goddess. Well, he's a god. She wasn't the goddess of the masses. And she was more of the goddess of the pharaoh. There is no documental in history that she had temples. Even though she may have been featured in temples, that most likely featured in temples, but she didn't have like a huge cult. And I don't mean cult as in, brainwash cult as we mean it now. Basically, what I'm saying, her own following, her own religion. And however, people, everyday ordinary people, whether poor or rich, have been calling out to her, have been studying her, have been teaching about her. So the pharaoh is gone. So we have evolved. I'm not saying, well, the pharaoh's gone, that's why we evolved. I'm just saying, as a people, we have gone through evolution. And so do our gods and goddesses. Our gods and goddesses are pretty much not static. So there is no documentary evidence that a temple have ever existed to her. But she was depicted in a number of temples. She did have her own priests. So I'm not just saying it was just the pharaoh. I'm just saying that it she wasn't for everyday people. Not saying that everyday people couldn't have worshipped her. That's not what I'm saying. So Seshat, her symbols are the stylus, the tablet, the seven-pointed star, and the leopard skin. She did not take from what I understand, she did not take a form of the ibis or a snake or a baboon. She has been listed as a wife or consort of Tahuti, Thoth, and sometimes even as his daughter. So it depends on the time and region. And so as far as her animals, she just took human form. Her colors were seen as blue and white, even silver, but usually blue and white. She's associated with the Persia tree, Persea tree. She's also a stellar goddess, and also is, I don't know about then, but I know people now associate her with the moon, but she's definitely of lunar power. She's a goddess of astrology as well as astronomy. One of the things that she definitely takes the role of, even in modern times, is the Akashic records. So she has wrote things down in the past and present, and she also know things what possibly is to come. So she can help you delve into past lives to know what you did in past lives. And she can basically know, she can read between the lines, help you to read between the lines, to know. She has written down even things that you did not know, so she can give you a better understanding of what happened in the past, what happened in the past life, what is going on with someone, what's going on in your mind, what's going on in their mind, what's going on in the present situation. So yes, she is a goddess that can help you with that. So you can literally, not one thing that you can do with her, and of course I don't think this was done with her in ancient Egypt, it could have been, is automatic writing, because she is a goddess of writing, and she's a goddess, she knows things, so she can be like your oracle, just like Tahuti, who is an oracular god. She can do similar things, so she can help you with automatic handwriting, also studying of people's signature and handwriting and writing, and that's even used in uh, even the FBI have used that, of studying handwriting. Even the CIA even does that, to know. There's also a divination thing that's used even in the New Age movement, of studying handwriting, of what type of personality, of where your headspace is by studying someone's handwriting. Her name literally means female scribe. And that's what she does. She's a scribe. She's an awesome record keeper, just like Tahuti. She's a goddess of organization. She is a goddess of order. She is a goddess who basically is a goddess that's going to help you to put for everything, a place for everything, and everything in its place. She also is called the stretching of the cord. And what that was, the stretching of the cord, was crucial for measuring the boundary and the area for where a temple would be built or where an important structure would be built. So that was her. So she is a goddess that helps measure the boundaries. So when we look at this in modern times, we still build churches and temples and cathedrals, and we still measure things when we're building homes and buildings and offices. So she is a goddess, she is a lady of measurements. So she's the one who is she's a chief archivist. She is a goddess who is also the goddess of accounting. So she also dealt with war campaigns. And when the war campaigns were achieved and over, she's the one that kept a record of all the spoils that were captured, of all the treasures, and even foreign prisoners that were captured. So, yeah, so she does do that. So, back to the stretching of the card, which is a ritual known as Pedges, P-E-D-G, Shez, which means stretching of the cord, which was part of foundation rituals. She was a goddess. Her number is 7. And here she is with the star. The 7-pointed star is hers. And you see it's on the staff. And you see this above her. She was the one to predict how long a king, is it going to be a long rule or is it going to be a short rule? So if it was a long rule, it was a good omen. She also basically dealt with the pharaoh's jubilees. So she was involved with that. So she's gotten a bunch of titles. She who writes, the female scribe, lady of the builder's measures, lady of the builders, the great one. She was also called Lady of the House of Books. Basically, she's not only she's not only deals with the Akashic records, but she also deals with physical house of books. So you need to think about a library, a bookstore. Even so she'll deal with the written word, whether it's books in print or now ebooks or magazines, newspapers, articles, anything. So if you're an author, if you're a blogger, if you're an editor, check this goddess out. Now, ancient Egypt did not have the vowels, so it was more pronounced as S-S-H-S-T, so something Seshat. But Seshat is how, or Seshat, or Shesheta is fine. So she does work closely with Tahuti, and Tahuti works closely with her. In some instances, she was the sister of Thoth. Now, the bigger belief is that she's the wife of Thoth or consort, but also as well as sister, more than a daughter. That came later. That I think that was more of a later belief of her being a daughter. So she is an architectural goddess. She's a linguist goddess. She's like the one that helps speech. She's definitely a patroness of speech therapists and authors, like I said before. And if you're an architecture or you're an archivist, definitely her. Definitely look at her. Now, another thing is that she is she records the names of those who have crossed over. And her written record is also important when one has to face judgment when they die. So let's look a little bit onto the meaning of this card, and I'll read from it and put. Again, this is by Sylvia Sylvana Alasia. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Egyptian Gods Oracle card. So let's look a little bit about this. And also, I did a presentation on Nisaba, so she has a lot of I'm not saying they're the same goddess, but she has a lot of similarities between Nisaba, the Babylonian goddess. So here it is, 31, wisdom. Her name means the scribe, deity, teacher of arithmetic, astronomy, astrology, and architecture. She is depicted dressed in a priestly leopard skin and with a banner on her head, supporting a 7-pointed star. She is the patroness of scribes and builders, and is the most cultured of the Egyptian divinities. She symbolizes the manifestation of intelligence. Seshat reveals herself to you to illuminate your path of knowledge on the mental plane. Her presence strengthens your courage, sharpness, and hope. Although you may have to endure sacrifices and renunciations, go forward and trust in her profound knowledge. So again, this comes from the Egyptian Gods Oracle. You can get it at Amazon, eBay, New Age store, local bookstore, or occult store. Check it out. And again, this is the back. I mean, it's really nice. It's really, really nice card. So when we look at Seshat, she is also, like I said, the goddess of measurements, and not just measuring something out. We're talking about measuring for cooking, for baking, measurements for medication, which is important. She's the measurements used in chemistry. So she's going to use the measurements of and measuring distance and measuring everything, whether you're working for NASA, whether you're an airplane pilot, you're a pilot, helicopter pilot. She's going to measure all that out. And she's like the history keeper, the true history, not just what's written by the victors. Yeah, she's going to write down what happened, truly happened. Okay? So she knows the history of the victors and the victims. She knows the history of the winners and those who have lost. So she is a goddess of, as well as reading, writing, literacy, being literate, and all types of building, like dealing with builders. She was a scribe of the pharaoh, recording all of his achievements, and most pharaohs were male. Very like Seshat was female, but so anyways, back to what I'm getting. I'm not going to get into it. So she achieved all the triumphs of the pharaoh and his campaigns. So, like I said, she's the mistress of the house of the books. Bookkeeper. That's another job, bookkeeper. So, if you're a bookkeeper, then you should look at this goddess. And she dealt with all types of writing and all types of scripts and all types of writing styles and fonts. She is the goddess of auditing. She's an auditor. And she was also responsible with the taking of census. There is one story that it was Seshat that helped invent writing. But it was her husband, Thoth, Tahuti, who taught people how to write. So Seshat is also another name, is the mistress of the house of architects. That's another epithet. So go back to your titles for her and you can write that. She who writes. That's another thing. Well, that's female scribe. So in the occult, when you see the magician, and then you had the scribe, where John Dee and Edward Kelly, and you had one of them as a scribe, right? So, like if someone called a spirit, someone would write it down. So let's say you had three people doing, or four people, three people doing the Ouija board. You have two holding the planchette, then you have a scribe writing things down, or a record keeper, or someone keeping the record. So even during surgery, you're going to have people taking measurements, right? You want someone to take the accurate measurement of your anesthesia, the record keeping of your heartbeat, your breathing. You want someone to keep a record of everything, of what happened. So when a doctor does their dictation of his or her patient, that's another thing, dictation of doing of okay, I examined my patient, here are my findings. And so keeping records, medical records. You think about medical records, you're going to think about her too. And file keeping of files, back in my day it was Rolodex index cards. So we had everything by paper. We didn't have everything on computers. You had computers back when I was growing up. I mean, I'm not that old, but I was pre-computer day, but I'm old. Where we had people's names and files on Rolodex and file cabinets. So whether it's by internet, written by hand, or back when I was going typewriter, we had those. It didn't matter. Numbers and letters and hieroglyphs all dealt with her. She was also overseer of the royal scribes. That's another name. She was overseer of royal scribes. So, a seven-pointed star or a seven-petaled flower is hers. Now, this is inverted horns right here above her flower, so, or her star. So, the inverted horns is also hers. And again, she's not as famous as Tahuti. Even to this day, she's not as famous. More people are going to say all this belongs to Thoth. Now, Thoth is a god of magic, but when you read the magic books, when you read, say, modern magic, or you read the Middle Pillar, or maybe you're reading the book called Magic from Brazil, or let's just say, or the Magic of the Lima. These are all put in words, whether it's an ebook or print. It doesn't matter. Books in general. The magic book. So you're learning it through the written word. Putting stories into print. Putting folk traditions into print is another way of dealing with her. So, what else can I talk about this goddess? What? Oh, there's so much I want to talk about her. So she is a divine, not only a divine scribe, but a divine measurer. So she's also dealt with surveying of the land. So land surveyors, another thing. So that was important to deal with boundary lines, especially after the annual floods. So surveyors are also under her functions. She oversaw those duties. She recorded the speeches that the pharaoh made during the crowning ceremony. Then during the Nude Kingdom, she was involved with the Sed Festival, SED. That was held by the pharaoh, who could celebrate a certain amount of years. So, and the Sed Festival was a ceremony that was celebrated that continued the rule of the pharaoh. And another name for it was the Feast of the Tail. So people who are librarians, bookshop owners, authors, bloggers, journalists, editors, land surveyors, architects, songwriters. Maybe you write lyrics to a song. Sheet music, that's another type of writing. When you think about it. Maybe that's stretching it a little bit. But she's going to be dealing with all that. Maybe you're printing out ads. Again, you can call upon this god, especially if you're dealing with needing new ideas for a book, or maybe you're having a writer's block on something, or maybe you just need a little incentive, you can ask this goddess to lead you to the proper place to get to writing, getting to do what you need to do. She's a great planner and she's a great organizer. So if you feel like you feel out of sorts with chaos and disorganization, she's a goddess that can help you. And oh God, she can help things if you want help. She also appeared in the funerary context. So she dealt with also dealings with the dead. And like I said, she was the overseer of the royal scribes. Sometimes she is holding a papyrus and palm stem and reeds. She also records all the passages of time, keeping track of now our lives, not just the pharaoh's lives. She also held knotted cords that was used to stretch to record surveying of the land. And in witchcraft and Wicca, we also use knotted cords, but for spells. So it could be used for protection, binding, uh, bringing something into fruition, whether good or bad. So what can we give this goddess? What can we offer her? We can offer her poems. We can write her something. The spells can include like writing down of something. So when you doing a spell, you can write something down, like the written spells, and writing down your rituals is also a good thing. And she can help you write down rituals and turn something, help you rhyme out a ritual. And so, but we can offer her books. Let's talk about offerings again. Let me get back in the point. We can offer her letters. We can offer her, like, we can write her a letter. We can write her a poem. We can write her a song. We can give her things like walnuts would be a good offering for her because it represents the brain and she represents knowledge. So when you open up a walnut, it looks like the two hemisphere of our brains. So we can offer her bread. Bread was a good offering for Egyptian deities. When you know, we can offer her sweet things, and we can offer her uh, pens. It could be something, and give her something nice. You don't have to break the bank, but you can also give her an ink well and a quill pen to write with. You can give her some pen and papers to write that put on her altar. You can offer her a will to learn. So you could say, in the name of Seshat, I'm going to improve my mind. I'm going to learn something new. That's another way you can give offering to her. Now, back then, she really barely or rarely appeared outside of her role as a recorder of what the pharaoh did, and the recorder of construction and written projects. So I don't know of any documentary, anything that was documented in history to a cult or a temple to her, but she was in temples. I don't know of any books about her. There is a chapter in, I'm trying to think of that book. It's by Ellen Cannon Reed. It's The Circle of Isis. That's what I'm thinking about. The Circle of Isis has a chapter of her. And I think that's when I read that book, I became introduced to this goddess. I don't think I knew about her before. I really didn't. And if I did, I don't remember. But I believe that was my first introduction into this goddess. I couldn't find a statue of her because I wanted, to put her next to Tahuti. I just didn't have it. If you were a teacher, especially any teacher, but especially like of literature and of speech, maybe you're a speech therapist, maybe you're teaching another language, whether it's your regional language or a foreign language, she is your goddess. She is not just writing and reading, she's also comprehending of what you read. Reading is not just able to read, it's to comprehend and retain what you read. That's part of understanding of being a good reader, is to comprehend and to remember and to understand things. That's part of being literate. So if you need to phrase something correctly, talk to her. She can help you with that. She can help you to understand things. She can help you with a test. So if you're having an examination test, and maybe you're having your midterms or your finals, ask her. Ask her, say, listen, I studied. I'm just nervous. Help me to remember what I studied. Help me to remember and keep the knowledge that I've learned so I can pass this test. So she loves students that want to learn. She loves teachers that want to teach. She loves writers that want to write. And believe me, the written word can bring laughter, it can bring tears, it can bring fear, and it can bring hope. It could bring happiness, it could bring calmness. It can cause one to panic and can even start fights and wars or bring peace. So the written word is powerful. You can create pieces of propaganda crap with words. You can increase hatred of each other through words. And social media has been good and bad. It can create unity, but can also create hate. So the written word is pretty powerful. She can help you with the alphabet. So remembering the alphabetical order. So learning how to pronounce a letter. Learning how to... She's good for dyslexics too. Because sometimes we may read something and once in a while I think I might be mildly dyslexic because I'll see something and I'm like, let me read it again. Oh yeah, okay. Like I might quickly see something like that. And who knows? But anyways, she can help dyslexics and to also get around with things and to figure out things in life. If you ever see, what was that? I'm trying to... Will Trent, where he's a dyslexic detective, but he still gets the job done. Think of that. So when you have ADD and ADHD and you're told to read this book and you have to have a textbook, but one textbook may not be good for you. You may need to start looking at other sources as well as that textbook. Because people with ADHD, we're going to get bored with that one textbook. Like, I'm an A plus student when I went to school. And that's because I had to work with my my ADHD. I'd get bored reading one book. So I would have to read the same subject from different things. I'll go to the internet, go to reliable sources, and then I'll watch videos. And then I'll listen to speeches because I can watch, read, and listen. That helped me. Otherwise, I'll probably be a B or C student at best. And it's not because I'm stupid. It's because that actually helped me learn better. So once I was done with that class, it seems like I knew more because I learned more. I wasn't just reading from one material. I was going through other textbook and the other books and looking at, videos on YouTube that were I mean, there's stupid things on YouTube, but there's things that you can learn a lot. Watching a scientist talk or give a presentation, or a teacher from another college give a presentation on, or a doctor. So again, you can learn and you can be amazing. Don't let anyone tell you if you have ADHD that you're stupid. You're not. And Albert Einstein had ADHD. And look at what he did. So, yeah. Is Seshat approachable? Very much so. She is approachable. And it seems like Toth is more known about, and people approach him first, and that's fine because Thoth can lead you to Seshat, and Seshat can lead you to Thoth, to Hootie. She will lead you to there. She will lead you to different sources. She's definitely a goddess that can do that. She will connect the dots for you. She really will. She will help you. She will help you with things like that. So you can ask her through oracles or what things are to come and what happened in the past. She'll help you read the symbols of tarot. She'll help you read the oracles. She'll help you. She will help you. So she will help you with construction. She will help you expand your mind. So she will help a closed-minded person to open their mind. She will help you with astrology and astronomy and astrophysics. So she is the goddess of the brain and the mind. Anyways, I want to thank you for watching my video, and I hope you got something out of it. And if you did, the way to pay me is to like and subscribe. Also, if you like my content, please send healing to me and my cats, and protection and good luck and good vibes, whether that's just a prayer, an offering to your deity, or a little spell, or a big ritual. I will accept all positivity. And today's presentation has been with the Joker, and now I think he got bored. So anyways, this is not a goddess of Seshat. This is just, my goddess statue that I have. So thank you so much for watching. As always, blessed be.